Hey, good morning and welcome back to Round Butte Cooney Ranch. Today I'm going to make a midsummer harvest video for everyone. It's the 12th of August today, and today is a harvest day for us here in the garden. We're going to be harvesting beans, carrots, onions, some zucchini, as well as some tomatoes and beets. And the plan this afternoon will be to process the beets as well as the beans, get those canned for winter time. So I wanted to just take a quick walk through the garden and show you guys kind of where we're at for the middle of August here. Start on this side. These are our dry beans, cannellis, I believe they're called. It's just now coming into flowering. You can see no beans yet, but they're looking really good. They've stayed really healthy. Plenty of water this year, so we've been able to keep them nice and green. We've had a little bit of a challenge with our kittens. You can see over here, our kittens like to come in and wrestle with each other, and they end up knocking these beans over. They've broken a few, but we've adjusted. So we've got a couple squash in this corner. These are really kind of coming on late, so we're hopeful to have some. These are zucchinis. We're hopeful to have some of those in the late summer. That'll be our producer back there. We've got our walking onions, of course, and nice chive plant, as well as the black-eyed Susan that helps to bring in all the pollinators. This is the last batch of beets that Emily planted. We came through and she did a really good job scuffing up the ground and getting that prepared, and we just overseeded it, sprinkled a bunch in and then covered it with some peat moss. And as you can see, it's done really well. It's really thick. It's time to get in there and thin those out. Over here, a tomato transplant. This little guy, this was a volunteer, I believe, and Emily transplanted it over here to see if we couldn't get it to grow. And you can see we've got tomatoes coming on with that one, so another tomato plant we'll be able to harvest from. We got a cherry here. This is a sun sugar cherry. This is my personal favorite. I love the sun sugar cherries, and it's doing well. Also, we just threw some fencing around that to kind of keep it up. As you can see, it's nothing fancy, but it does the job. Keeps them up off the ground. I don't remember the name of this. We got this from a friend from church, Harvey, and he said it's a tigerilla or tiger something. You can see the tomatoes have a really neat pattern to them, kind of like tiger stripes. Probably where the name comes from, but it's doing really well too. It was a spindly little guy when we got it, just a little stalk with a few leaves. So we brought that back. We've used the Alaska fish fertilizer, and it sure has sprung back to life. So looking good. Here's our row of carrots. This is our best year of carrots. We've never been too successful with growing carrots, probably due to the soil. We've always probably put them in the wrong spot, and the soil stayed pretty compact and they didn't grow well. But as you can see, this guy right here, looking real good. And they taste really nice. We had one the other day, nice and sweet, so we're pulling some of those today as well. Got some romaine here that Emily's letting go to seed. Emily's done that quite a bit this year, letting plants. We had Swiss chard, we've got beets, and some kale that she let go to seed, so we literally have thousands and thousands of seeds. And she's going to use those. She'll put those down in the fall so we can overwinter. And then I don't know if any of you guys remember, but last year we made a video of me harvesting kale in December in the snow here. So we were having fresh kale out of the garden in December in Montana. So that was pretty neat. Here's our strawberries. They're starting to get their runners out, so we're going to have to probably do some trimming. We've debated back and forth if we really want to let these guys go and take up the valuable space here in the garden, but it's been rewarding. The strawberries were great this year off these plants. These again, these strawberries came from Harvey from church. I'm not sure the variety, but they very hardy here, and they've done really well for us. As long as we kept them watered. Here's some of the beets Emily will be harvesting today, and we'll be processing. We got a nice little row of beans tucked in there behind, starting to come on real well. And hopefully those in the next month and a half, those will give us some beans for eating. We'll switch over to this side. We have apparently these are pole beans. I planted these under the assumption they were a bush bean. So I either read the package wrong or they were labeled wrong, but as you can clearly see, those are pole beans. So they're just kind of doing their thing back here. Coming to our Walla Wallas. Some of these guys, as you can see, have fallen over. Emily has told me that the time to pick is when they fall over. So as you can see, it's time to pick some of these. And again, this is probably our best year for Walla Walla onions. Some of these guys in here are just huge. Like this one here, there isn't even any more room for it in between. It's tucked up in tight with the other ones, as you can see by the size of my hand. That's a big onion, and they taste really good. So we got a nice row of those over here. Come down and they join up with the bush beans that we've been harvesting, and we'll continue to harvest. We'll get some more of these today. Emily's got some more parsley in here. She's already harvested parsley at least once and dried it out for wintertime use. Another tomato. Tomatoes, I'm not going to touch too much on our tomatoes. It wasn't a great year for us tomato-wise. We've had a few. We got a few growing, but just not, we didn't put a lot of effort, not like last year anyway. So continue along. This is our bean patch. We've got three different, we've got the yellow wax. I think there's Kentucky blue bush beans, and then the purples. So we've got like three different kinds growing in through here. Another tomato and more beans. And one last tomato. This one's doing pretty well. This is the yellow Brandywine. Haven't got any fruits off that to eat yet, but that'll be soon. And the last row over here, we got Walla Wallas. It starts with parsley. This is the parsley Emily picked all the way to the ground probably 2 weeks ago. And then I started drying it out and a little bit of water, and it's come right back. We'll get a second harvest. More Walla Walla onions here. Another row of these with some red onions tucked in the middle there. They're still pretty small, but they're growing. Those were given to us at the nursery where we get our pig food. They just said, hey, if you want them, take them. And I don't think Emily wanted to. She knew we had too many, but of course, me being me, I took them and just threw them in the ground, and we'll see. If nothing, they were free, so nothing else. It was worth the time and the effort to try, because you can see a couple of them, they're getting decent size, so we'll be able to use some of those in our cooking. We got a few peppers in through these rows. Again, peppers were not a good year for us. We've got a few, as you can see, but nothing like in years past. And then we'll end down here, more pole beans that I planted thinking they were bush beans. There are some bush beans in here, but some of these are definitely pole beans, as you can see, growing to the sky here. So we're just going to probably let those go and just flop over on the ground and don't put the time into trying to stake them all up and get them to grow. There's my mouser. That's Hey Girl. And last down here, this is another volunteer tomato that just started growing. We pinned it up, kept watering it just to see what had happened. And as you can see, there are quite a few tomatoes on there, doing well. We'll be able to harvest those. Again, that was a volunteer, so not even something we bought or even tried to grow. It just came in on its own. Got a deal plant tucked in down at the end here, kind of camouflaged by the beans, but it's growing and doing well. Lastly, over here, these are the pole beans. These were planted as pole beans, and they are pole beans. We put these over here in the raised bed. They were real slow to go. I don't know if it was just lack of water or the area in particular, but they're coming on now. As you can see, they're to the top of the fence. They're a good 6 feet tall and still going, so we will definitely get a harvest out of those. Hey girl, sharpening those claws, getting ready to catch a mouse or a vole. We'll spin around. That's our asparagus. It's obviously that's past and going to seed, but we'll let those drop and continue to add to that little patch there. That's blackjack. He's our secondary mouser for the garden. There's about 5 of them in here right now, but I won't take the time to try to show you all the cats. That's our raspberry patch, and it also is done for the year. Tomato that we put in here, this was one that was in a really bad spot, so Emily was like, we need to transplant it or get rid of it, so we just threw it in this old urn right here, and it's still growing, it's still healthy, it's just not putting out a lot of fruit. So, and our second sun sugar, this one we've been picking tomatoes off this one for about 2 weeks now and eating them. Again, as I mentioned earlier, that's my favorite. I love the sun sugars. I think Emily would agree. This is our Swiss chard patch, and we've been harvesting off this, I'd say 2 months we've been eating Swiss chard. We haven't in a bit, but as you can see, it's coming back around after being picked down, and we'll be having Swiss chard in the next day or two. More sunflowers. Bring in the pollinators, and rhubarb patch here. I don't think Emily did much with rhubarb this year. I think she processed or picked and had some, but not like in years past. But it's a nice patch. It's been productive. And lastly, I want to show you guys is our squash garden, as we call it back here. As you can see, the sun's probably not in my favor right now, but this is all our zucchini, as well as our butternut squash over here, kind of growing up into the fence and up and around and over and everywhere else. And we've also been harvesting these zucchinis for probably close to 2 weeks. Because I had mentioned it's time to get in here today. I need to pick a bunch, and we'll get ready to do another batch of relish. So looking good. They're looking healthy. They've been producing, so we're pretty happy with that. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on a garden tour with me here this morning, and we hope you appreciate these videos as well as like them and continue to follow us on our channel. You guys have a great day, and we will see you again soon.